Thank you, Godfrey. Up and Away, which is Bahamasair's in-flight magazine, is the recipient of the 2024 World Travels Award, and we are so excited to have them with us here on the show. We got with us Captain L. Roscoe Dames II. He is a publisher. We have Tyrone Fitzgerald. He is a contributor, and we have Captain Sandy Campbell. She's also a contributor. Good morning, and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning.
Yeah, man. Up and away, man. We can't talk to y'all no more, man. Yo, hey, congratulations. We've been seeing the awards. We've been seeing the articles in the paper and the press coverage. What does this mean to you?
It's staggering,
Right.
yeah, to say the least. And then the reason why I say that, when we talk about a world leader, we think of politicians, we think about political leaders, but we were able to accomplish something that all of our team said it was a David and Goliath moment. When you think about the competition, we went up against the Caribbean, and we won the Caribbean leading in-flight magazine. And Bahamasair, the airline, actually won the Caribbean leading airline. But as a result of that, we were nominated for the World Award, and we went up against some of the titan of the airline industry, United, Air Canada, and we all said, well, it's really nice to be nominated, because we figured, you know what, yeah, it ain't happened. So, but luckily I got an email and I literally fell out of my chair. Wow. I'm like, hold on. So I emailed them back and I said, is this the right
You sure? You sure?
You sure it's us? And they were like, yes. We were under an embargo, obviously, once they notified us, until the 24th of November in Madeira, Portugal, where they announced the winners of the World Awards. And I told the team, Tyrone and Sandy, and they're like, really? We were all shocked, surprised, whatever you want to call it. But when it all settled down, we went, we did it.
Yeah, right.
Like, we really
Y'all did that, and shout out to y'all. For people who've been living under a rock, or those people who don't travel and don't get off the island, tell us what Up and Away magazine is all about.
Okay, Up and Away magazine, if you can imagine a travel magazine, a fashion and art magazine, just gave birth to our publication. We were awarded a contract a few years ago to be the publishers of the magazine. And we got together and we said, listen, we want to do something dynamic, vibrant, and we were fortunate that Bahamasair travels takes passengers to destinations like Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Orlando, Raleigh, where there are international airports to take you to the world.
Yeah.
So we said, let's open this thing up and let's share our stories of travel around the world, and a lot of our contributors do a lot of traveling. Like
I want to hear from Captain right here. So you are a contributor to the magazine. Tell us, what has your contribution been, and how does this feel to be a part of a winning team, right?
Listen, Mark, it feels so good when Captain Dames reached out to me to be a part of the magazine. First of all, I was ecstatic, right? Because I love travel and I love blogging and I love writing about travel. So for me, being a part of this team has just been an amazing experience. From the first time I started writing, listen, Captain Dames, he knows how to put a team together. Let me just say that. So it's such a great mix of professionals, of writers, of journalists, and we all just come together so well. Of course, Captain Dames, he's always on us with the deadlines and making sure that we submit. Oh, he is like a stickler. Like, he don't play around, but that's good because that brings out the best in us. And as you can see, we've produced a world leader. So it's been an amazing experience.
That's fantastic. Speaking of things, man, you holding this trophy. This look heavy right now. That look heavy. Show us this trophy and tell us how you've contributed to the magazine and how you feel about the award.
Well, as a contributing writer, I featured local artists. I featured forts of the Bahamas. We've talked about so many human interest stories around communities in the Family Islands and locally. And so I like to think of Up and Away as a storybook, where we tell the stories of the people and culture and food of the Bahamas, and not just the Bahamas, the world. And so as a world leader now, I think the magazine represents just that. world storytelling at the highest level.
You know, I was on a flight and I got a chance to read through the magazine. Maybe it was his last year at some point. I have a good friend of mine, Scott Johnson. He writes about wildlife in the Bahamas, and it was just great to see him get to tell his story. You know, he's been passionate about his work all his life. What are some of the other articles and writers that have been a part of this so far? That's a part of this great story.
I'm glad you asked because I always want to recognize, and it's important as a leader that you recognize your team because you don't do things in isolation on an island, and everybody has a part to play, whether it's good, bad, and different. It really doesn't matter. We come together, and I'm very proud to lead a team of professionals. And when you lead professionals and you hire people or engage people who know what they're doing, your only job is to get out of their way and let them do what they do. And I'd like to recognize, Nakia Wells, Scott Johnson, Candia Smith, Keisha Claudia Bethel, Clifton Barry, Yolanda Hanna, Kirsten Harrington, Bianca Major, Ty, of course, Jean Barrett, Somerville, Miru Hernandez, Alex Zander Kaufman, Baha Yogi, Naja Kohlberg, Lourdes Guerrero, Tina Walsh, and Meru Saluji, right? And Siobhan Moss and Jermaine Johnson. Yeah. That's our team, and it's a global team. Some of these people are in Spain, Italy, the United States, different parts of the world, and we come together and we have successfully.
Yeah, man.
I just want to give you a perspective and the scope. Right. American Air Canada, United Airlines. Air Canada moves 44 million people a year. United Airlines is the largest airline in the world. Yeah. They move 140 million passengers a year. They move 363,000 passengers a day. Wow. Our entire population, they move a day.
On a plane, right?
Just so you can understand. And then we were up against Fiji Air, Vietnam Air, Mozambique Air, Air New Zealand, Korean Air, Kenya Air, Air New Guinea, and Oman Air. They move 251 million passengers per year, and we beat them.
Hey, look here. We ain't want to air about them. We want to air about us, right? And so congratulations to our team. But definitely you have a wonderful team. Just again, what's the future for the magazine? What's the next steps?
Well, one of the beautiful things about our global award and the fact that our magazine, the magazine, is on a digital platform. You can get it on ivoryglobalmanagement.com or bahamasair.com. We have readers from around the world, and since the announcement of our award, it has exploded. Yeah. People from all over the Philippines, Africa, the United States, South America. It is just blown up.
Well, the response has been overwhelming.
Right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. And how fitting that the magazine is called Up and Away, because it seems like that's where we go. We keep going up, up, up. Yeah. Anything you want to say to the readers before we close out?
I just want to say that, again, we tell the stories of the Bahamas and the world. And as storytellers, we have a responsibility. And thanks to Roscoe's strategic and visionary leadership, I think we're going to go even higher next year, and we're looking forward to it. So stay tuned to our January issue, which is going to be amazing.
Fantastic. Yes. Hey, congratulations again. May you fly to higher heights. And Sandra, we can see you on your next trip, right?
You know you're ready.
Congratulations again. Up and Away. Man, I love y'all, man. I love y'all. Up and Away is here, everybody. They carrying all the awards from here going into the future. Make sure you get their magazine digitally or catch a flight just so you can read it. You're watching Moms and Sunrise. We'll be right back.